Hi, and welcome once again to Strong at Home. I'm Dr. Brenda Murphy, and I'm an educational psychologist. And we here at Strong at Home, our goal is to inform, inspire, and encourage you. And for our last three sessions, we've had someone that I believe has done just that on this very important and current topic of COVID. I want to welcome back Marilyn Calfee. Hi, Marilyn. Thank you so
Hey,
much for coming back and I think finishing your story today. Last time, Marilyn, as we were ending our conversation, um, it was one of the most powerful conversations I think we've had on Strong at Home. You shared from your heart your experience of in the depths and in the very core of what it was like to be within a COVID experience, and yours was a very powerful one. So, as we finished, we said that that experience had changed you in many ways. So, would you please finish explaining how, maybe adding a little of that experience and how it has changed you since that time?
I guess I can use the word I'm bolder. I am bolder in my faith. I am bolder in my conviction. Um, there is no one that can convince me that my surreal surroundings during those days, that it was anything except what I said it was. You realize that life is short. You get to a certain age and you're young and you think you're invincible. And you think you've got all the time in the world. And I'm just talking about a natural lifespan. I'm not talking about illness or anything like that. And then one day, something like this happens and you're 67 and you realize that you have a message to bring. Brenda, all that God has ever asked of us is to love him.
Yes.
That's all he's ever asked of us to do. Because if we love him, if we truly, truly love him like we should, with a pure heart, everything else is fluff. Everything else will fall into place. That's the way that I look at it. You'll do what you're supposed to according to his word because you love him. You
Yes.
don't want to disappoint your parents on earth. You don't want to disappoint your heavenly father either. Not once you learn and not once you have that relationship with him.
Yes.
Um, Here, like I said, I have learned that life is short. There are things that are important. There are things that are not important. I've gone off my to-do list and been able to knock a whole lot of them off because they're just not that important, or knock them down. Family is important. My family, my faith in God, my family, my convictions as a person. That's important too. It's important to stay true to yourself because
How Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm wondering, because we all have convictions, and then we have a life-altering experience where we experience and encounter a living God, one who's there and real and personal to us in a time of great need. Because if I remember correctly, you felt like you might be dying at that moment, that the COVID had really locked into your body and you weren't sure whether you would live or die. And then you had 3 days where you were in the presence of God, where he was there, just
yes,
love and warmth. And you weren't thinking of anything else during those times. But when you came out, you were different. So you said, yeah, you're moving things on your to-do list down. But what are some of the convictions that you had? Because, like you have intimated, and I can affirm, you're a wonderful person. That's your
oh,
reputation in our community, and you serve and you do. So, in what ways did those already good convictions change?
um, I think you have to prioritize, and you don't just do it for you. You do it for anything that you're involved with. Because if you can't give 100% to anything that you're involved with, if you commit to it, then you need to finish up with it. So when I found myself, there were things that I was doing that wasn't that important to me afterwards. My life changed. While you were talking, it reminded me of when God was with me and had me wrapped up and I was swaddled, and it was like I was the caterpillar, and then you emerge as something totally different. And I emerged as a butterfly or a moth, maybe, maybe. But I look at things differently. I look at things with a different viewpoint. I can't deal with drama now. I walk away from it. Even with family, I walk away from it. At the end of the day, I love my family. I will always be there for them. But I'm not going to be involved in drama. I'm not going to be dragged into that. I will say what's on my mind because the conviction is that's who I am.
Yes.
And I had rather have people respect me for being true to my conviction than distrusting me because I say just what they want me to say.
Yes.
And
And
too
I
many
think
people,
we
too many
often do
people.
that. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
And I think we are Southern born and bred ladies, and
yes.
I think we in the South tend to be that way even more. And certainly drama is the script of our life. And but it doesn't make us feel whole inside or
It
good
takes too much
inside.
energy away from you, and you can take that energy and apply it to different parts of your life, and things that um, that maybe you haven't even tried before doing, like this, what I'm doing right now. I know I told you, I was a little nervous about doing this because I've done Zoom calls, but it's just been between me and just the people on the call, never other people that I didn't know. And so this is a new experience for me, and it's putting myself out there. Um, but people need to love each other. They need to be more kind to each other. There's not enough kindness in the world, and I see that every day from the children. And children, I learned this a long time ago. Children learn what they live. If they live in chaos, that's what they're going to represent as they get older. If they live in bullying, that's what they're going to do as they get older, because that's what they've lived. That's what they know. We have to offer people the opportunity to be kind to each other. And I think if we do that, if we can be kind to each other and we can love each other and we can focus on the important things in life, and that is people, not things,
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And I guess if anything, that is truly what I have learned. And to give of yourself unselfishly, and to know that somewhere you are making a difference. And I'll close with this. I've done a lot of things in my life, and I often wondered prior to COVID, I would wonder this: is anything that I'm doing, does it make a difference? Does anyone even care? Did it change anything? Did it help somebody evolve? Did I plant a seed? And Brenda, I really think that during the time of COVID, when God was, one of the feelings that He gave me was that feeling of comfort, of completeness, and that I have made a difference. He verified that for me. He clarified that for me, that you have made a difference, and that maybe He's going to leave me here a little bit longer, that my work isn't done.
I would say that there's a whole new chapter getting ready to be written, because as you've experienced and as I've experienced, while we would never want to go through being sick with COVID and all the many feelings that it does arouse in us, I am grateful for this experience because it is helping us to reach out and to reach people we've maybe never reached before, or reach people who are difficult to reach, because in our conversations, the people who are watching may never have encountered a Marilyn Calfee anywhere else, or would know that that kind of an experience happened, and it would give them hope. And maybe there's someone who has COVID, or has a family member who has COVID and is as sick as you were. And it will give them the hope to know that there's a good possibility. In fact, the better possibility is that they will recover.
Yes. Yes.
So in your recovery, where would you say that you are now in your COVID recovery?
My COVID, I'm probably 90% right now. And the reason I say that is we've talked, my throat is I'm starting to cough a little bit now.
Yes.
So I know that I'm not all the way through it. You know, I still try to be careful. I only go out when I have to. I do to attend some meetings, but I'm very, very careful. I wear a mask. Not for my sake, but for your sake.
Yes.
Because I don't know. I wash my hands for my sake. I will distance for my sake, but I will wear a mask for other people's sake.
Yes, absolutely. That is the kind thing to do. It truly is the kind thing to do. And I know that this is just the beginning, and I am so grateful that Strong at Home was an opportunity for you to start this new journey of a new conversation, because although most of the people that are watching Strong at Home don't have the pleasure of knowing you in our community, but you are very involved and hold a number of very responsible positions in our community, in addition to being our state representative's wife that you do on your own. And so I believe that this is a step in where there will even be an increase in the way that you are able to be within our community, an asset, but even in a different way, as we, as a community and as a nation, are learning to live with COVID and learning to find the good within something that is so very difficult and hard.
Yes, yes. You know, this is a time that it's unprecedented, and I will use the word that Kent uses a lot. We're sailing uncharted waters.
Yes.
You know, and because of that, it has become a political thing, conspiracy theorist, if you will, type thing.
Yes.
But being able to say that it is real, and I would not wish COVID on anyone. I would not. No. I would not wish COVID on anyone. I still try to read about it, still try to research it, because I'm still curious about some of the things that happened to me earlier on, things that I can remember about why they happened, and or what might have made them happen. But I will tell you, and if I can say this real quick.
Yes.
Anyone out there that's listening to me, if you know of someone or you get COVID yourself, make sure that they have a lifeline. Make sure that there is someone that will continue to get in touch with them every couple of hours just to make sure they drink. Because I'm finding, talking to people and reading, that kidney failure happens quite often. And so that's one of the reasons. You know, you think, well, people have got sense enough to drink. Well, if you've got COVID, you don't have any sense. I'm telling you.
True.
You don't, and you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You don't have sense to the ability to think clearly, and it does come back to you, but it does take a while. I find myself now even, and that's the reason I still say 90%. Sometimes I'll be in the middle of a sentence and it will just leave me.
Yeah.
You know, and so and it didn't before. So I know
Yes.
that is the COVID, one of the I guess the lasting effects for a while,
Yes,
And,
that we will get over, that we will get over, and it
yes,
will come
we
back
will.
as we
We
see.
will. We
Just
will.
as our
Yes,
strength, it
yes,
just as I'm sure, like me, that you don't have the physical strength to get out and do a lot of exercise like
right,
I would like
right.
to do, and
Yes,
that will come back. Um, and it will be that our COVID experiences have, in the long run, made us better if we allow that to happen.
yes,
And
yes.
through your story, not everyone is going to have that kind of an experience where God is really showing them, but through your experience, people will know that that is a possible, and that out of something as disastrous and difficult as COVID, something really good and lasting will come from that.
It sure will.
And in light of this wonderful story that you've been sharing with us and your life, this is a life, let us end, as we always do, with the blessing that God puts upon us. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And peace to you, Marilyn. And thank you so much for sharing from your physical experience and the depths of your heart. I know that it will touch others. So God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.